Okay, welcome back to chapter 2. In this one, we're gonna finish out the blocking of our metal creature here and maybe even start working on the details on some parts. So we'll see. So I'm gonna start out with the front leg here to finish out and finish out the blocking and we're gonna see from there. So the front leg looks like it's made mostly off of cylinders. So it's like this piece here and this one below and those as well. They look to me like cylinders. So we're gonna go judging from the piece that's you know that's above. It looks like this is like continuing from this, and there's a separation just to give a nice detail, mechanical detail inside. So I'm gonna disable the grid here. I don't really work with the grid a lot, so I have all the geometry and the image plane set as a reference. So in order to work with the geo, I'm gonna disable the reference mode and go back to normal polygon. And I'm gonna start out by building this piece here. It looks like this one continues from the one that's above it, so I'm gonna see how many edges I have there. Okay, so let's make a cylinder and let's put maybe 12 and subdivision caps 0, and go to the orthographic view and just align it and shape it according to the image. Extrude, scale, move down, select these edges, scale them, and this looks like it's a flat, it's a straight piece here, but I think it would be nice if we continue this circular type of shape. So I'm gonna delete this top face and give it a slight curve to these vertices, as well as this on the lower portion. I'm gonna select all of those and move up. Since we're gonna have a joint here made of probably cylinder, I would like to follow the shape of the joint there. So first I'm gonna insert another cylinder and set its subdivision axis to 12 as well. Rotate it by 90 degrees X and scale it in position. Okay, so these probably are not on the right place in perspective view, so we're gonna move them over. Let's see how we look. Okay, looks fine. I'm not sure how we're gonna do the joints yet. I know that at some point I'm gonna have separation here, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna put the two cylinders to be connected to the upper or the lower part of the leg. So I'm gonna keep it like this for now, just to have something to shape my piece here, and we'll see when we come to that part. Okay. Let's see how we look when we press the 3 key in subdivision mode. Yeah, I sort of like this shape. I'm constantly clicking Ctrl S just to make sure that I don't lose any of my work that I'm doing, because Maya sometimes crashes, and it's pretty easy to lose hours and hours of work if you don't save often. So make sure you have a habit of saving, because we all know what happens when Maya crash. So I'm gonna continue shaping here. Okay. Okay, that's good enough for that piece. I might scale the top part just a bit to kind of help continue that curve that goes from the top, and I might also scale it like this. Alright, I'm gonna turn off wireframe unshaded to see better how we're looking. That looks fine. Okay, so let's make another cylinder. Place it there. Rotate it 90 degrees. Oops, actually we don't need to rotate it 90 degrees there. We're gonna change the radius to 0.1. Actually that's too low. Let's try 0.2. Okay. Subdivision axis to, I don't know, 12 probably. I like to work with 12 sides. I'm gonna delete the caps. Rotate, scale. I'm gonna double click on my move tool. It's gonna give me the options, and I'm gonna set object so I can move my object. I can move my object in object mode, not in world space. So let's see, for this piece probably what I'm gonna do is first move it over in place. Actually I'm gonna say insert edge loop tool, multiple edge loops, set to 1 just to have one edge loop, and place it there. So I'm gonna snap this one to the center of this, so it's sitting right in the middle. And because we have two pieces coming out, I believe it's okay if we Yeah, if we connect this part of the joint to the upper leg and just duplicate this and move it to the side, and maybe let's try scaling this like so, and connect this to the lower part, and also we can duplicate this, Control T, 180. Alright, so that's looking fine. So I'm gonna rotate it just a little bit and move it actually as well, to be able to make this nice curve. I'm not gonna connect these pieces with polygons yet, because this is a rough blockout, just to see if all my ideas that I'm throwing here will work. Like you can see, we have some pinching here, but I don't really care about that now. There's no point in detailing stuff if we later decide, oh, this is not gonna work. It can't move, and so just a little bit. All right. So I'm gonna go in vertex mode and just adjust these points. I'm gonna, yeah, just to make a slight curve there. Actually, I'm gonna delete this one and duplicate, move, or flip it, and there I go. We can do the same thing with this piece and bevel the edges, and this actually looks cool. And there, that was accidental, I think accidental luck detail that we discovered. I'm gonna bevel it again and set 0.1. Yeah, that can work fine. Maybe we can just scale this just a bit. Actually, we should scale these guys, because this will be connected to the lower part. Okay, let's keep it like this and we'll decide later. So duplicate this piece again, scale it down to get roughly the size of this cylinder here, and oops, select all of those, move, rotate, and we're gonna go in regular polygon mode, not in subdivision preview, and extrude down, rotate. Let's see. Actually, there's a better way doing this. I'm gonna duplicate this again and rotate it, move it down, and the way I'm gonna combine this is via the bridge tool. So let's first say combine. So these guys are now one combined object, and let's select the edges there, the border edges, and go bridge. I'm gonna click the options just to check. I don't want linear, I want smooth path, and I want, let's try 2 divisions. Yeah, that's gonna work. So just center pivot, freeze transformation, and delete history, and that's okay for now. Let's duplicate this middle piece and move it down, scale it, and I'm gonna make this quite large because we're gonna have to came up with a solution for the actual foot, because there is no real design for the foot. When there's only one finger here, but in reality it's gonna look strange if you have only one, so we're gonna probably need to came up with something, at least 3 here and maybe 1 at the back, like there is something. Okay. I'm gonna scale this one down a bit, this as well, and I'm gonna slide this closer. I want to make sure that's a bit harder. Just slide all of those together. Alright. We need another cylinder that's gonna connect these 2 pieces. So first I'm gonna take these 3 points and just move it out just a bit, and we can make this either to be like a piston type of thing or just a straight cylinder. Because this is a blocking stage, like I said a million times, we're gonna go with just a cylinder, and I will experiment between videos to see if I can come with cool design and decide if I'm gonna put just a straight tube cylinder with some details on it, or I'm gonna make a piston type of shape. It could be cool, you know, just to be like a piston. It will have some mechanical logic into it. 12 segments again, no caps, and delete, and the end parts. Alright. Okay, we're pretty much done with that. Before I go and try some experiments with the foot, I'm gonna make the back leg. because probably I'm gonna go back and forward doing and redoing stuff about the food till I came up with something that I like and I think it's gonna work. Um, this part here looks a bit it's a bit thin to me, so I'm probably gonna add two more edges and try try something like this, maybe, because it looks okay on the design, but when you translate this in 3D, sometimes it lose some of the concept. I'm gonna connect this one. Alright, that looks actually better to me, to be honest. This part here and this one here they look pretty much the same with just another add. So, and this one we could treat this as one whole piece, like this one with a detail inside, or we can treat it as separate like this one. But since we made this since we made this volume, I'm gonna go with the same thing on the back. And actually what we can do is we can take this and duplicate it and reuse that piece, because it's a very similar shape and it's in the right position on the z-axis, so we can just tweak it, and we don't have to do everything from scratch. Object, I'm gonna probably move this down a bit because we want to give our creature flexibility and movability, because if you can see, the upper part is intersecting with the lower, and that's not something we want in 3D, because when they penetrate, we're gonna see that in rendering, and it's not gonna look good. So this joint, it looks like it's a flat piece with some sort of circular detail in it. So we will either follow this one, or we can just make another copy of this and put it here connected. I'll try with this first and see how we look. Okay, but I want them to be on the same. Actually, we don't need to be, and it's a separate. But one thing I do want is, I'm gonna delete this one, and I'm gonna make this a bit bigger, and just duplicate again, flip it, we're not super precise with placement of the stuff yet, but as soon as we get into detail modeling, I'll make sure we do everything precise and uh, to work okay in rigging stage. Looks like we have some issues with our normals, so I'm gonna quickly say normals, harden edge, and then soften them. Okay. So I'm gonna make a cube, uh, snap it here, and let's just scale it and rotate it, push it back into leg, object mode, object space, and move it back like so. Alright. So I'm gonna select all of the edges and say bevel. It's gonna give a nice bevel to it. If we isolate, we're gonna see we have some triangles because of the bevel, but if we go, let's say segments 2, it's gonna fix that for us. So this is too smooth, so if we want to be round, we can either put more, like maybe 4. Yeah, I like that actually. So we can duplicate this piece and rotate it Z, move it down, scale it. So we're gonna either have 2 of those coming into this one, or we can just have one that splits into 2 to connect with the joint. That's our call. I'm gonna scale this one and move. You can see it's a trial and error. You have to try to see what's gonna work, what's not, especially like when we don't have a design and clear idea of things. So we want to continue this this angle here, so because it's gonna look strange if we like break that. And I can see now that we're gonna have to widen this opening here to be able to accept this piece. And scale it. That would require to move this portion down and adjust the shape of this as well. Okay, so let's duplicate this, move it to the other side. when it comes to combining these pieces, we're gonna have to be creative to, uh, fill these holes with some interesting details, but that's gonna come up in later chapters when we deal with detailed modeling. I'm gonna duplicate this stuff again and move it to the back joint, and actually, no, I don't know why I did that. Never mind. Duplicate, move. I'm gonna combine these to be able to move them as one. Pressing 6 on my keyboard to see the image plane there. And now I'm gonna scale this one in like this. Maybe even move it down. Sometimes when I'm not sure with the design, and if I'm not sure if something's gonna work or not, I'd like to go and do a bit of concepting in ZBrush and see, because sometimes when you move point by point and you deal with topology, and you can easily get lost with the process, and push back your creativity. So ZBrush is a really nice application for just take a bunch of polygons, move them, stretch, remesh with the new Dynamesh thing, and if you see if you can come up with some interesting ideas. I will do something like this between videos for some of these parts, and I may even record some of that process. I'll see with the time. Okay, I'm gonna duplicate all of the because I'm in world mode, object mode, object space, not mode. Okay, let's adjust this. Okay, so now we faced the challenge to came up with idea how to connect these outer pieces with the lower part of the back leg. So let's try. Okay, I'm not sure if this is gonna work, so I have to try, and I'm gonna actually delete this part. Okay. What if we move this one down and extrude? Bevel this edge and lower the offset. Oops, 3. And if I take one of these and just rotate them. Rotate to match the angle of that portion of the leg. Move it over and down. Alright. I'm gonna scale this a bit more to fit the piece. This might work. I'm not sure, but we'll see. I'm gonna leave it like this for now, and if I decide to change it later, I'll mention that. Okay, so let's now take the front leg, all the pieces of that, and actually this one too, and make a group, call it front leg, and I'm gonna delete this one and select the group and go edit, duplicate special. Alright, I'm gonna do the same thing with the back. I'm not gonna add this to the back leg. I think I'm gonna come up with something better, so we'll see if I'm gonna prove that right. So Ctrl G, back leg, and edit, duplicate special. Alright, I feel like I left this piece unfinished, so I'm gonna go and do something about that now. I'm gonna move these parts in a little bit just to see how that's gonna look. As you may see, I'm trying to work with a very small amount of polygons, just because it's easier to control and it's easier to change stuff, because as I'm modeling, I decide, okay, maybe it's gonna look better if it's this way or that way. So if you have like 10 polygons to move versus I don't know, 100, it's gonna be a pain to smooth all of those polygons out and see if it's gonna work or not. Okay, I feel that this looks a bit better. Okay, now about the foot, I will try something, and I'm not sure if we're gonna stick with that, but if we don't try, we'll never know. Oh yeah, my crash. Sorry about that. Yeah, these things can happen, and we have to deal with that. So let's see. I hope I saved. Yeah. Okay, we didn't lost anything. Maybe the corrections, no, even that saved, so we're fine. Thanks God. Okay, the foot. I'm gonna snap this cube to the middle, and I'll try to design something that looks cool there. Okay. I'm gonna move this down, and I'm gonna disable the grid. Save. Okay. Let's see. We can either go with individual fingers, or we can have like a foot type of shape. I'll try the second one first and see if that looks okay. If not, we're gonna change. It's a process, so insert edge loop tool, and okay, move that up. I'm gonna insert another one, but I'm gonna change this to relative distance, and I'm gonna take it closer to the the bottom edge. Let's try making this taper as it goes up. Okay. Insert some more edge loops to make this crease a bit sharper, and let's try. I'm gonna move this forward a bit. Let's try duplicating and see how we look from distance. Nah, I don't like that much. Let's move it down. I'm gonna insert edge in the middle and move it like so, so I can have a curved part. And I'm gonna duplicate this, flip it 180, and actually I'm gonna delete this one, delete edge, and I'm gonna adjust the shape to try to see if it's gonna look like something. So I don't really like the thinning, so we're gonna, well, this could look like something if we spend a little more time, but I'm not sure if I want to do this on video because there's a lot of back and forward changing, trying see what's gonna work, what not. So I'm gonna spend a few more minutes trying to decide in real time here, but let's see. This looks strange. I believe it should curve like this. No, it's gonna have a bit more sense, at least in my head. You may find this boring, but it's something that you're gonna have to do if you try to came with your own designs. So if it's boring, I'm sorry, but I may do a time lapse if I have moments like this in future chapters. So let me know in the comments if if you don't like watching me for like 20 minutes try to find a good solution. So I'm gonna make this either time lapse or just gonna skip it completely and tell you when I'm done. Wow. Okay, almost done here. We can add some detail by beveling this, and I'm gonna say 2 segments and delete this end edges, and I'm gonna go transform component, move this in. This is gonna cause some issues down here, but we're gonna fix that real quick. I'm gonna snap this point to the one above, and I'm gonna move it up as well, and this one down. Okay, and select the border of those and bevel them again. Set a small value to give it a bit more hardness. Let's see from a distance. I'm not sure with that. Okay, sorry about that. I'm gonna undo that. Okay, I'll see what I'm gonna in the detail stage. I'm gonna see if I'm gonna make this simple or I will add something, we'll see. For now, I believe what we can do is just, well, duplicate this one, maybe scale it down, and just to add a bit more visual interest, and maybe let's try extruding this part. Okay. And I don't know if that's gonna work or not, but actually, let's try something like this. We're gonna move this up and extrude those again. Let's go to the orthographic view, and let's follow the shape here for a second. And rotate like this, extrude, rotate. I'm gonna snap all of those faces like so and delete. So this might look cool in the end, we'll see. Let's try mirroring it over, but first, if we connect this piece together with this, it should have some logic to it, I believe. Okay, we're gonna try duplicate and freeze transformation first, then Z-1, combine, select the edges, the verts, and merge. So that's one shape now. I'm gonna select these two and bevel 0.1 maybe. And that doesn't look that bad. We can try duplicate, set the center pivot in the center of that object, and let's okay, I'm gonna select isolate mode, and just by click and drag on the Z in the while holding the D key and the V to snap, I'm gonna put the center pivot in the center of the object while still keeping it in the on the center of the circle there. And well, just it disconnect my shader for some reason. Let's reapply that, and let's try to see if we can make something look good out of this. Okay, let's select these end points and rotate them. It looks like we merged something here accidentally, but I don't really care because in the detailed modeling stage I'm gonna remodel this anyway. So okay, finishing up this. Let's try something. Okay, let's type 0 and um, yeah, it starts to look like something, but I'm gonna call this okay for blocking, and I'm gonna, because this is an instant object of this and it's in a group, so any change I make to this one will affect the opposite, the instance. So oops, accidental keyframe there. I'm probably gonna end up adding some wires, cables, something to support this. It looks somewhat natural for me to just to connect like this, but for blocking it's more than okay. So I'm gonna say combine. It's gonna delete there, but that's okay because we're gonna add this object into the group and then transfer. So actually I'm gonna delete the entire group there. Same with this one. So let's go to the outliner quickly, and where is that group? Front leg, there it is. And middle click and drag it into the group, then duplicate. First I'm gonna say Shift P to unparent that from that group and center the pivot into the point of this leg, because I want this point to match with this one here. So I'm just gonna move back like so. I'm gonna shift click and drag to invert my selection and say delete. Okay. Alright, so let's try something with this one. I just came across an idea that might work. We'll just see about that. Okay, saving real quick because we all know what happened a few moments ago when Maya crashed on me. Damn you, Maya. Okay. Back into the outliner, take this and drag and drop with the middle mouse click in the backlight group. Select both of those and go edit, duplicate special. Alright. This starts to look like something. Okay, so as you see, we came up with something that looks like it looks pretty close to the design, but it's made of basic shapes, you know, cubes and cylinders. Ah, not again. Come on. I can't believe this. That actually never happened to me that often. So I hope I saved. Oh yes, I did. Haha, lucky me. Okay, anyways, it's time for me to end up this chapter here. We're pretty much done with the blocking stage, and between videos I'm gonna go and do some research, try to come with cool ideas, not to waste your time watching me here like I did on the lake. And after I have something to show you, I'm gonna record another video and hopefully finish this in a few more chapters. So see you in the next chapter and take care.